Hello and welcome to another video on the channel. We got a few tools to look at today and discuss one of the most important questions for people who carry everyday carry multi-tools or EDC tools. We have two of the same type, pretty much the same tools in two different sizes. This is one of the few tools that I carry pretty much every day, since the word EDC tool. I do carry this bigger one, but I used to carry this smaller one. Not this one in particular, a very similar one, but since I have these two of the same type, I wanted to show these two in a video. And just to give you something to think about if you are looking to get either or. So these two tools are tools with pliers. Let me open this bigger one so you can see. So one of the main tools in this multi-tool is are these pliers, right? They don't have, they do have small, pretty much tip. They pretty much end in a pointed tip. They don't have the, like some have this wider tip, and those are the ones that I would prefer more. But anyway, these are just with a pointy tip, also usable, pretty good pliers, not the best. And I would say if you compare these pliers to like regular pliers, they are pretty much the same size, a little smaller than the ones that I carry. These ones are my favorite, or one of the favorites of pliers that I have. And as I said, they do have this wider tip that I really love in pliers. One of the most used feature of pliers, for me at least. But these ones, even though they have this pointy tip, they're still pretty usable. So in a sense, as a tool, as a pliers tool, I think it's great in this size. I don't have anything against, except maybe these weak points here, because when I use pliers, I like to grip things with all my strength. When I use these, I don't actually push too much or press too much. I control my grip not to damage the tool. It's also good for nuts and bolts when you try to work on something. It does have pretty nice grip, pretty wide opening, and even wider than this tool, if you can see that. So yeah, definitely as pliers, I'd say these one are great. One thing I would say is a little bit worse on these is a wire cutter feature. I'd say this is more, it's usable, but wires are actually surprisingly tough things to cut. So I think they're not the best for cutting wires. You can maybe cut some wires, but not all. Like copper wires you can cut pretty easily, like thinner ones especially, but some steel ones I'd say avoid, especially don't cut too many of them, because you're gonna ruin this tool. This metal is not that strong. Of course, in some like Leatherman and some more better quality tools, let's say, better build metal, they're probably gonna be able to cut a lot more wire types. This one is a spring, does have a spring loaded, so it does, help, not a little bit. I'd say I don't actually rely on, when I use this tool, on spring, so I get used to using these pliers. I usually use those, so when I use these, I actually use the same way. I don't rely on this, but yeah, it's nice to have that feature. Looking at the smaller tool here, it also comes with pretty much the same tools included. These pliers are not that great, and I hardly ever use those pliers. Even on my second tool that I have with pliers, I just don't see a lot of use cases for this. It's really hard to use them. They're not that grippy. When I try to use, like, to get some bolts, you might get a few nuts and bolts unscrewed or screwed with this thing, but you can damage the tool pretty easily if you really try or apply some pressure when you work. So you gotta control your grip every time so you don't damage the tool or nut or both. It does have pointy tip. One good thing about pointy tip pliers is you can get pretty low when you work on something, but I'd say having a wider tip helps when you grip from top, which is pretty pretty often when you work on, bolts, nuts and bolts. You will use that, or at least I do use. So in terms of pliers, definitely the bigger size helps quite a bit. It's hard to compare them in terms of usability. Just this one is so much more usable than these. Even these wire cutters, they're not that great even for copper wires. I'd say this is maybe for zip ties, maybe some wires, but not that much of a variety you can cut with these. It does open pretty wide, but still cannot compete with these, especially when you're trying to grip like a bigger bolt to hold or something like that. You would wish to have a little more opening than this. But yeah, it's not like totally useless, but definitely much weaker than these. You will feel that when you use them. So that one tool, that's primary tool, I would say bigger ones are just better option. If you can pick one of them to carry, it's always, I'd say, better in multi-tools to have access to a bigger one or have a bigger one at your disposal. But if you're thinking of shrinking to get maybe some more tools, or maybe you cannot carry more weight than this, then small tool is usable, but there's more limitations to it. So let's look at other tools in this set, in this multi-tool set. Just return these. By the way, the size of these, let's see dimensions first before we open our tools. So you can see in metric and imperial, 10 centimeters, 4 inches in length, about 2 inches or 5 centimeters in width. This one 7 centimeters and like 3 centimeters. So not that big tool. Of course, it's a pocket tool, especially this one. It's very convenient if you wear in a pocket. I'd say it's much more it's much better to have this size than this size. Of course, you will feel the weight of this. I tried carrying this thing, and I'd say it's not a pocket tool, especially if you have like shorts or something like that, lighter clothes. It's a limited use when you carry this thing, definitely by its weight. So you don't carry it on your person when you go with this. You just have it in a bag or something like that. This one you can carry in a pocket pretty much no problem, even if it's just some shorts or some lighter clothes. You will not even feel this, especially if they're built lighter than this. This one has some weight to it, so it's one of the heavier tools, multi-tools that I have. For example, I do have this one that I carry. They're pretty much the same weight. This one has doesn't have pliers, has pretty much everything else, but doesn't have great scissors, for example. But it does have scissors, doesn't have pliers in any size, but still it's a pocket tool, and this is pretty much the size of a tool to be a pocket tool. Anything larger than this, like this tool, I'd say it's not a pocket tool. Maybe EDC multi-tool, that's for a bag or something like that, backpack. But I would not recommend to have this as a pocket tool. Definitely weighs, you feel the weight, and can be damaging to your pockets. But this one definitely is something that you will wear. So let's look at other tools in this set just to compare. One, of course, of the most used tools is a blade or a knife. So this one does come with with a knife, and it's pretty decent size. I'd say for an everyday carry knife, it's pretty usable. It's not bad blade size. This one though, I don't like the size of the blade. Let me show you. No, this is not the blade. This one. Wait. Oh, there we go. So you can see the size of between these, or size difference between these two. Just at the first glance, you will see this one just looks like a joke. Just it doesn't look that usable. You can open packages like cut tape or wire or or thread or something, but this one definitely feels much more usable. It's tougher blade, thicker steel, just all around. I'd say for a blade, this is the smallest I would accept to carry. This one, when I carry it, just it's not that usable. I would not, if I would have like just an option to have this or some other tool, I'm probably gonna consider other tools, even though of course blades are the most usable tools to have on your disposal when you need them. You probably need them for a variety of reasons, and these ones just beats the small one. That it's that much more important or better to have, and the versatility of use for a better blade just that's much more. So in terms of blade, this one would definitely a winner. If you carry a smaller one, yeah, this is what you deal with. So not not the greatest thing. So the tool, of course, if you carry this as a pocket knife, you might be able to, just use for a little bit, for little items, something like that. But if you cut fruit or anything like that, this one this is the size of the blade to have. So let's look at other tools here in this tool set. After this, let's look at screwdrivers. Why not? So this is a Phillips head screwdriver, and we also have that here. So you will notice them in pretty much two different sizes, of course, just because of the size of the tool. Also, screwdriver heads are different sizes. I'm trying to focus here, but come on, it doesn't want to focus on the tool. Okay. All right. Hope you can see, but yeah, screwdrivers are not the same. They're two different screwdrivers. So I would say for usability, screwdrivers they both have some advantages, but I would say this one just works that much better. A smaller one, it's definitely usable for smaller nuts, smaller screws, let's say. And yeah, it's actually a better tool for smaller screws than this thing. So in comparison between these two, I'd say there's not that crazy difference, but there is a difference in the size of the tool, which is just makes them, this one's usable, much more usable for bigger screws. This one much more usable for smaller screws. So they're different tools actually. By the size actually makes them different tools. So there's that. Screwdrivers in general, like Phillips screws, there are a variety of them. So this one will will not do much good on bigger screws. This one will not do great on smaller screws. Cannot do anything in a lot of cases. So I did test that out. So there is a difference in that comparison. It's good to have either or of these because it depends which kind of screws are gonna come up when you carry these. The other tools, let's quickly look at what we have. Let's open here. We do have these two. A little saw, just pretty much serrated blade, but this is intended to be saw. It's not that great as a saw, honestly. Just the size of it just makes it that much less usable than, for example, this blade here. Let me see if I can get this one. Wait, I just opened this one. Oh, it's here. So this one, it's not much of a blade. I don't have on another multi-tool this serrated blade. This one is too small. Honestly, I don't like this one. It's not that usable. This one doesn't have such a saw blade, but at least has this measurement, which is not that precise. I wouldn't rely on this to measure things. This one doesn't have such a feature. I don't see it anywhere. So that's a little difference between these two tools. So as a saw, I don't actually like saws or multi-tools. I don't see the usability of those. Maybe compare the pry tool or ball opener. So definitely for prying things, it's good to have a little more strength when you're working on something to pry. Or like a flathead screwdriver, you can use this. But yeah, opening balls, they're not that much difference, I'd say. There is a little bit, but both will work, I'd say. So yeah, for that, I don't see that much of a difference. Definitely, when prying things, it doesn't matter that the steel or the blade or something that you work with is a thicker or better steel. So what else do we have? This thing is a joke, honestly. It will bend, it will break. Not the best can opener. Let's see here. Do we even have a dedicated one? Yes, we do. So can opener. Hold on. Oh, we have it here. So both of them have these two can openers, and this one even has here a can opener and a ball opener and a bit driver. So I don't know about this feature. I don't like it. It doesn't look very usable, and the tip is so thin. I don't think I would use this at all. This is just a joke. I don't see. This is such a thin metal. I think it will break more before it has a chance to open any cans. So yeah, definitely not that usable. Maybe it will work. I didn't test it. I'm not gonna test it on the video, but I don't rely on that thing. Plus we have some flathead screwdrivers on top, like a pry tool. I don't think that's much importance. At least there is. Maybe this one just feels a little more usable, but I don't think, for me at least, that would be that much important. But all in all, I don't have advice. It just this seems like a pocket tool. This seems like some backpack tool, something to have in your with your gear, something that you carry in a different place, this is also usable there if you have a bag or something like that, or in a pocket. So the size does make a difference in these two tools that are pretty much the same, but the variety of use might be similar, but actually the quality of use is better with bigger tool than with a smaller tool. Smaller tool easier to carry. Just you have to juggle between those two, think of which one to have, or have both of them. Like for example, I do have these pouches to carry these. So for example, with the bigger one, you can have a credit card or something like that with this bag. You don't actually have to carry these in these bags. You can just use them for other things. You can have like threads, needles for sewing or something like that. I usually use this pouch for. The other pouch, not this one. This one I'm gonna save for the tools because I'm not gonna carry these. Maybe this one sometimes is because pliers are good, but I think since the size is pretty similar to these, I'm gonna carry my regular pliers. I just love them that much to have when I have in my backpack tools. I want to bring something proper size. For multi-tool, I'd say this one is much more. Is something that I would look into a little more than these two. But that's just me. Definitely I see the appeal for both of these. You decide which one you like more. Just for me, I like the pocket version, and this one, the usability, for usability, this one is my favorite. So that's just my opinion. Leave in a comment if you have something to say about these tools, which one you like more, which one you have or would recommend. Also, leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.